Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. As you can see, I have got the Giga Chad Black Air Force Energy looking motherfucker himself in front of me. I think I just got demonetized. Anyway, I've got the man, Don Quixote, DOFLAMINGO, Chief Waste Cadet of One Piece, and he's here to cause some absolute chaos in this game. This is going to be my deck profile of what I believe is one of the most underrated decks in the meta right now. At least that's what I would have said a week ago, but from my experience, it seems like a lot of people have been playing Dofi to a lot of very strong success. This deck has a phenomenal matchup into one of the terrors of the meta, which is Green Kid, which I do believe is instrumental in the success it is currently seeing. I'm going to go ahead and give you my deck profile, but first, let's talk about this dude, because this is a leader where you kind of have to build around it. What does he do? Don 2, when attacking, tap 1, look at the top, reveal the top card of your deck, so your opponent gets to see it as well. If it is a 7 Warlords of the Sea that is cost 4 or less, you play it rested. So the kind of advantage that this card can give you is absolutely insane. As a result, you do need to build your deck around it, and we must take advantage of cards that are both 7 Warlords of the Sea, as well as cards that are able to look at the top few cards of the deck and stack them so you can make sure that you're getting your Dofi effects off. This does mean that you are required to think ahead, and as a result, I think Dofi is a really good deck for beginners to play because it's a really good way to get to grips with understanding the game and understanding that this is a game where you need to be thinking 1, 2, 3 turns ahead to see success. With that preamble said, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. I'm going to leave him up here. So, with the 1-drops, I think these are fairly straightforward. We got 4 copies of our 1-drop lore. This guy's a 7 Warlords of the Sea, and it's a cheap chomp blocker, so you always want to play it. Now, I played 2 copies of Perona, and I've seen anything from 2 to 4. Now, I'm going to give you the reason why I think 2 is the amount to go for, but I think there's a good argument for all of them. At the moment, in this list, Perona plus the 3-cost blocker Dofi I play is 6 copies of a card that lets me look at the top 5 cards in my deck by turn 3, right? So in the first 2 turns of the game. Now, I think 6 is sufficient because if you go and do your hypogeometric calculations, what that means is you've got a 75% chance, including the mulligan, of opening one of those 2 cards. At least 1 copy of either Perona or Dofi. And I believe 75% is high enough, especially when you consider that bumping Perona up to 4 only increases your odds to 80%, 80 to 85%. So yes, it is basically 5% more per additional copy, but I don't know, I think over an 8 to 9 round Swiss tournament, it doesn't make a massive difference. I could see myself going up to 3 copies though. I just couldn't see myself playing 4. That being said, this card does have counter power, so it's really not the worst inclusion in the world, and I couldn't really fault anyone playing 4, and who knows, I may come around to it. Then we got 3 copies of Alvida. This is just a 2k counter. Then the aforementioned 3-cost Dofi. This card is very, very strong. It's a 1k counter. It's a 3-cost blocker with an on-play to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can bounce it. You can add it back. You can salvage it. You can play it from the top of your deck with Dofi. This is a really, really powerful card. Then we've got 4 copies of one of the best blockers in the game right now, Boa Hancock. This card is absolutely incredible. The fact that you can put a Don on her, swing for 6, and you get to draw a card. 5 cards or less in hand, by the way, is a very easy restriction to me. It's really not much of one. Or alternatively, you block with her on your opponent's turn while she's donned up, and you draw a card as well. Now, the format does out her in a lot of ways. Okiku can rest her. She can be jet pistoled. There's lots of ways to deal with her, but she's a threat that kind of requires you to instantly deal with her, because if your opponent just dons her up, then blocks her and throws a 1k on her, this is a card that's going to be generating your opponent advantage every single turn. You don't want that. This is a really, really, really good card. Then we've got 4 copies of one of the more slept on Shichibukai, I think, and this is Kuma. So this is simply a 4-5 blocker with a 1k counter. That alone is fine. It's the on-KO effect that's so good, though. Because this card is coming in rested, your opponent's initial reaction is going to be, okay, well, I should kill it, right? So he doesn't get a 5k attacker on his next turn, because going wide in this game is really, really powerful. Going tall is scary, but going wide is scarier in most instances. And this is a card that threatens that. But if I kill this card, well, my opponent may simply bring out a Pacifista. And if I'm dealing with a 6k on my opponent's turn, that's a hell of a lot scarier. So this card has a huge amount of presence. They're absolutely not always going to have the Pacifista. In fact, most of the time they probably won't. But it puts that fear of God in your opponent. And I really do like that. And it seems very thematic for this guy. Then we got 4 copies of Gecko Moria. This card is absolutely incredible. Salvages any 7 Warlord of the Sea or Thriller Bark Pirates character with a cost of 4 or less, other than Gecko Moria. Usually, you're either going to be salvaging one of these 2 cards or, of course, Dracula Mihawk. This is just a 2k counter. You get more blockers with this, you get more blockers with this. You got your Pacifista, of course, here to counter, to combo with Kuma. But you've also got 3 copies of Blackbeard. This is, Martial D Teach. This is another card you might see yourself salvaging with Gecko Moria. And the reason I play this, Jinbei is an option, right? Jinbei is a card that removes it, but bouncing is honestly better in most scenarios. You get counter power here. Jinbei is the most awkward card to play. And this is an amazing hit off the top with DOFLAMINGO, because if your opponent attacks into it, whatever, it's only a 4k, not a big deal. You got the value out of it by removing your opponent's card for free, essentially. This is a phenomenally good combo. Then I play 2 copies of Virgo, and this is an essential card you need to have to deal with Kid. And this forms part of the reason why this deck is so good into Kid. I'm going to show the rest of it now. So we've got 2 copies of Doffy. This bounces any 7 cost or lower. I play 3 copies of Crocodile. Now this is absolutely not standard. I just do it because I think this card is very good. It is underrated, and I really do like the character. And I play 2 copies of Mihawk. So let's talk about this top end here. You can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10 cards with 7k or more power. What this means is, if you curve into basically any of this, you are having your outs to 8 cost Kid built in. You play, and you out 7 cost Kid so hard. If your opponent makes the mistake of playing 7 cost Kid, you Doffy, bounce it back to hand. That is pretty much game winning on its own. You Mihawk, send it to the bottom of deck, and you've established a 9k. My God, man! Because this, if they don't have any blockers for their 8 cost Kid when they play it, it's over, man. Throw like 5 Dons onto it, throw it in, it's over. Like that's it. They're not blocking that shit. Yeah, phenomenally powerful. The ability for this deck to kind of do both. It can go wide and then it can go tall as well when it needs to against Kid. This is a really powerful deck. Let me now talk about the events, because I think that is also another really important part. Now, this is probably the most flexible event, and you could put these into the other 2. I do like this as a card that you can use early game, because oftentimes early games you don't have actually ways to use all your Don. But for example, this is really nice if let's say you're going second, you can and you don't necessarily get anything, or you're going first or whatever. You can play this Sparta as a defensive tool on your opponent's turn. Obviously, they need to attack you. So in the scenario where they're attacking you, so you're going second, or it's your second turn going first, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you can check top cards if you don't see either your Perona or your Doffy. And it also prevents you from taking life. And I think that's really nice. Also as a trigger, which has happened very rarely, it is really nice. It can help save you. But mainly it's stability. It's a little counter. It's also something that's going to let you stack your deck more. Really nice. I've got 2 copies of Love Mellow. This is really good, but again, you could swap some of these into here. And Overheat. This card is unreal strong, super slept on, but dude, just bouncing a 3 cost or lower is so good. Yes, it gives you the 4k, but like, when your opponent has committed like a huge amount into it, and you just go nope and bounce it back, especially if it hasn't managed to attack yet, man, that feels really good. So this is my DOFLAMINGO deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you have any questions, if you have any changes, if you have any thoughts at all, please do leave them in the comment section down below. And please do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing lots more deck profiles just like this, as well as regular market watches, analyses of tournament tops, analyses of new cards. Bro, if it's One Piece, you're going to find it here. So please do subscribe for that and like the video if you enjoyed it. And I really do look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Cheers.